Hiya, it's Kerry from Mobilates. The sun is actually shining here in Devon. It's one of those days when I feel like it's been all the weathers in one day, and light and dark and everything in between. So I'll take a bit of sunshine and brightness right now. We're going to get ourselves moving. You can move with me in a standing position, a seated position in the chair, a seated position on the edge of your bed. You can use a sofa. It's a bit low down. The low back tends to sink into it, but if you've got a really firm sofa and it's giving you lots of support, you could sit on the edge of the sofa too. There's going to be some lying down, but you can stay seated, or you could lie down on your bed if you are sitting on the edge of your bed. That works really nicely. Just pull your duvet back. Right, we're going to start with a wider sort of stance. So that just means your legs further apart. And then I want you to blow a little in the breeze, like you are one of the tall grasses or plants when the flowers have gone and the seed heads are there, everything's gone brown and brittle, and it's just blowing in the wind. So we're just having this little sway. It can have a bit of an angle to it. It's very relaxed. That's it. And think tall as you're doing this. If you're doing this seated, you could have your hands on your knees, you could have your hands on your chest. You could change your feet around. You could even close your eyes if you're seated. If you're standing, you may want to narrow your gaze rather than go straight into closing your eyes, because it can be a little bit sort of discombobulating, shall we say. And then make this smaller and smaller until you're still. And then bring your legs closer to each other. So there's about a 2-fist gap between your knees and gap for a book between your feet, and your feet are pointing forwards. Now, we're going to do things with our toes. So I would encourage you to look at your toes. I'm looking down at mine. Lifting your toes up and down. This is probably my last week without socks. I was wearing some toe socks in a class this morning because it was cooler. And I can see from the colour of my feet, they probably appreciate a sock, but I'm just eking it out a little bit longer. So we've got the toes coming up and down. If you're struggling with that, it does help to put something different underneath the toes. Like I've got a towel here, and if I've got socks or bare feet, particularly bare feet, they can feel the difference. And they just feel that change in texture. So maybe with socks, I just might feel the slight give of the towel, but bare feet definitely just can help. Right now, even more challenging, we're going to try and lift a big toe. And I'm doing both my big toes. The other toes may do some funky things, and your big toes might not lift. Just try, mentally talk to them, and see if you get anything. It's a conversation that needs to happen many times. And then we put the big toes down, and now I'm going to try and lift the rest of my toes. Now I will say my little toes are not particularly forthcoming, but they sort of come. They're just about leaving the floor. The other toes a bit happier. Again, it's practice makes perfect exercise, this one, like many. And then press all the toes down. And let's have a little lift like this. If you're standing, a little rock forwards and backwards. And then we're going to lift a foot up enough to circle the ankle. So it's not strictly a balance exercise, but it's a bonus balance exercise. Or so you might want your arms out. You might also want to be holding on to something. All good. And I'm going to swap to the other foot, seeing what's going on here. Oh, hello, Barbara, Christine and Jackie. You're all here to join me. Hello, lovely to have you here. So we're circling around this ankle. I've swapped to the other side. And then take it down. Grow a little taller. Soften your knees if you're standing. If you're sitting, get right up onto your sit bones. Feel those bumpy bits just pushing into your chair seat a little bit. And then think of your pelvis here. So we've got our pelvis underneath the belly and the bum. And we're going to think of this bottom area, either on the seat or between our legs, as the bottom of the bowl. Tip the bowl towards you. Tip the bowl away. tip the bowl towards you, tip the bowl away. As you tip the bowl towards you, there's a little pull back of the muscles. So you're just pulling your belly and your abdominal muscles back a little bit. You relax them as you go forwards. It's like they're pulling back from something cold. That's it. And one more. And then we have our hands on our hips. On one side, lift that hip up. My heel needs to come off the floor to help that happen. I could do it without the heel coming up. It's going to look like that. With the heel, it's going to go up a little higher. So try both. I'll show you what it looks like seated. This is the other side. Oh, that's quite a bit stiffer. I can see it. I think I'm more doing that than lifting the hip up. Right, now with the heel just coming up. It's a little hip hitch. So if I was doing this sitting, I'm going to press one side down and just try and lift my butt up on the other side, not lifting my heel up on that side. The resistance of the chair does it instead. Other side. That's it. And then circle your pelvis, either round like this, if you're standing, it's like belly dancing sort of circle or a hula hoop sort of circle. And then the other way. And then grow a little taller and tap the back of your head. Rub the bridge of your nose or tap your glasses, take your face back, turn your head from side to side. And then I think we'll go for a figure eight with the nose. So an infinity sort of shape. Make it bigger. And then come back to the center and start to give your shoulders a long, slow roll around. Now you can go one side and then the other. Could you luxuriate in it a little bit and take your time? And then we're going to start a little march, I think. I was going to say heel raise. I'm going to go for a march. A march on the spot. Bring your arms up into it. And then take it out and bring it in. Take it out, bring it in a few times, and then bring it in. Grow taller, hands down by the sides of your legs or down the sides of sort of your thigh in the chair if you're sitting. We're going to do like a little pendulum one side and a pendulum the other side with our upper body. Now your hips stay where they are, your bum stays on the seat, your feet stay on the floor, equally balanced. Now extra things we can do. We could change our feet. So I've almost crossed my ankles here. I could put one foot just in front of the other and then do that same. Oh, it's quite balancy, that one. I like my arms up in the air for this. So you can't see what my hands are doing. So I'm going to bring the camera up a little bit. So my ankles are crossed. Now I've grabbed this wrist and I'm going to pull this arm over. It gives this side a big stretch. Now, if that's not for you, if your shoulder's not going up that high, you could do it more like this. A hand on the chest, a finger against the forehead, the temple. It's like a salute. It's definitely a bit wobbly. I'm going to go the other way. I'll show you what it looks like seated. So I've got my ankles crossed here. I'm going to grab the other side. So it's not about my bum changing here. It's more about opening out my ribs on this side. And there's a bit of traction that comes from grabbing the wrist. My wrist is trying to resist a little bit. I'm not just sort of letting it drag over. So I'm sort of resisting that a little bit. That's it. Let me just bring the camera back and we're going to go into a little bit of a balance. So this is a little round the world balance. Legs are back with this 2 fist gap between the knees. Your hands could go on your hips or your arms could go outwards. You might find if you're standing, your arms are going to want to go outwards. We're going to bring one leg forwards and then put the weight on the other side. This forwards leg, it's going to keep coming back to its home point here, but it's going to go out to different places. So let's do a forwards, sides, back. Forward, out to the side and back. And then we're going to do a forward, out to the side, back. And then we're going to go further round and make a little curtsy. Repeat that again if you're standing. If you're sitting, forwards, side, back. And that little curtsy is going to look like that. Forwards, out to the side, back. And now that little curtsy. I'm pushing through my feet, including this back foot. Come up, have a wriggle for the hips, give them a little rub. Let's do the other side. So forwards, out to the side, back. Forwards, out to the side, back. Last one like this. I can't remember how many we did on the other side, but I know we're going to add that extra one. Forwards, out to the side, back. And then this little tuck under sort of curtsy. Now, if you're on the chair, you might even feel like you want to grab the sides of the chair because it's not as stable a position. One foot's right under the other. Could bring this leg a bit more to the center and bring your legs really close together. I like that idea. And if you're standing, ready for the final curtsy? Well done. Now make it swishy and twisty. So the whole body turns. If you're sitting, you can have your hands swishing around, legs wider. That's it. And one more. And then could you bring your hands to behind your back? So you're on this sort of bum shelf. You're a sacrum, the sort of bony bit of the back of your bottom. And your elbows are out here. Pull the elbows back a little bit. Feel a bit of openness across here. Send your chest up. And then let it go and have a wriggle. Same again. So I've got my hands here and my elbows at the moment flopping forwards, my shoulders are rounding. Now I'm going to bring the elbows back. Oh goodness, the difference in the shoulders. Now I'm going to send my chest up. And then I'm going to let that go. And one more. So hands are behind, shoulders back, bringing the shoulder blades together, bringing my chest a little higher, looking a little higher. Oh, and then let that go. That was nice. All right, let's go for some arms coming up and down. If I just change the camera slightly there. They still disappeared, haven't they? And you could do one arm and then the other. And you're just going up as high as you can. If it's like this, if it's like this, it's all good. And then we're going to do a roll down. So if you're seated, if your spine is happy to curve and flex, you can put your hands in between the legs a little wider, so they're just brushing past. And then it's like your spine starts against a wall, and then you start to roll away from it. And then when you've got as low as you want to go, take a breath in. Feel your back expand, and then use that tension in your back to pull you up as if you're sticking yourself to the back of a wall, and you're up and straight again. Have a little wriggle or a shoulder roll and you're off. If you'd rather do something that doesn't flex the spine like that, doesn't put weight through a curved spine, which if you've got osteoporosis or osteopenia, it's not a good idea. Instead, could you come forwards with a straight back? Now a little pelvic tilt, so you feel your bum rock back, and then walk your hands backwards and come to upright. If I was to do that one in a standing position, I send my bum back, hands on the thighs, pelvic tilt, walk up the body. If I was to do a curved spine roll down, I could open my arms up in a prayer position, open them out at the sides. I'm opening the front of my body, and then Soften the knees, rolling down as if I'm pulling my whole body slowly away from the wall. I'm going to have a little rock here. Feel that weight shift between the back of my heels and the toes. And then hold it there. Toes are down. Press down into your heels. Slowly roll up. Your legs don't need to straighten until the very end. Then they can straighten. Well done. We're going to change position. So we're going to come either to a seated position if you want to stay in your seat, or I'm coming down to the floor. Could also be your bed. Let's move this one out of the way. And you can put a pillow underneath your head, a cushion underneath your head, something that gives you the sort of support that you find comfortable. If you're sitting in your chair, you might have a cushion behind you. I have these little cushions for my neck. I've got a couple of them. And they just give me a little bit of support. They don't push at my neck too much, just feels just right. It's like Goldilocks. Maybe having a little sway side to side. Maybe you're still getting down on the floor. And when you are in either this position lying down with your legs bent and your feet on the ground, or seated with your legs in that L shape and your feet on the ground, could you put your hands on the belly and let them rest there? In fact, you could even stack them on your belly or cuddle your belly towards you if you're sitting. Breathe into this pressure of your hands on the belly and feel them rise a little with that swell, like increasing pressure. And then let the air go gently through your mouth. Breathing in again, feel that swell just beneath the hands, and then let the air go. Blowing it slowly out of your mouth. One more time. Next one's going to be slightly different. So breathe in again, feel the swell just like before. And as you breathe out, I want you to let your hands sink into your belly, and you're going to rock the back of your pelvis, the bottom of that pelvic bowl, towards you. And as you do that, your bum starts to peel away. So it goes from being down like that to just rocking upwards a little. And you can feel your hands bringing your belly towards your ribs. And then could you go the other way? Rock forwards, bring a little arch underneath your spine. Rocking back, let your hands be really heavy. Rocking forwards. So using the weight of your hands to help with this. One more. And then let them settle. Right, just looking where I'm going next. Yeah, let's keep one hand on the belly. This is so you can feel a bit of core activation. The other hand can go out to the side and just rest on the mat. Let's work this leg. Walk the feet forwards a little bit so that they're 90 degrees. If you're sitting, you'll already be in the right position. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, I want you to lift that leg. So if you're sitting, that foot's just going to hover off the floor. If you're lying down, it's going to lift up to this 90-degree position. Your belly very calm and still. You may feel a little extra tension underneath it. And then slowly, slowly take it down. Swap sides. Breath in. Breathe out. Feel that tension on your belly as you slowly bring that leg up to a 90-degree position. And if you're seated, it's just hovering off the floor. Slowly take it down. Oh, that was slow. Swap legs again. We're going to hold it there. If you're doing this seated, could you bring your foot up enough so you can just lengthen your toes towards the floor? My foot's just getting a little crampy there. And then we're going to dip the toe down. And let's lift the arm on that same side upwards. So you can feel all the effort of your core all around here. as you're doing that movement. Now, if you're doing this seated, it's going to be more like that. And then place that arm and leg down, extend it away, circle your ankle a little bit just to stretch that leg out. And then let's do the same on the other side. So we're going to lift the leg up to this tabletop, the arm on the same side straight up to the ceiling. And then we're just going to dip that toe down whilst feeling what's happening here. Now, if it starts to feel too much, it might be that instead you're just going to slowly bring your hands back and go up and down like that. If it's okay, you can feel this tension, but nothing else changes. Your back doesn't suddenly want to arch and do that sort of thing. Just want everything very still. That's it. And then arm and leg down, extend the leg away, wriggle the foot around, give it a little circle. Bend both legs, take the arms out to the sides. Legs have got a little bit of room in between them, those sort of two fist gap. We're just rolling from side to side, keeping the legs the same distance apart. So this is a little roll that brings the spine into it, the hips into it. If you've got osteoporosis or osteopenia, you want to keep your range of movement manageable, so you don't want too much rotation here. If you haven't, you might go a little further. We could even bring the legs closer to each other. And now it becomes more weighted. It's like you've got one super leg. But this is a more intense twist. And if you've got osteoporosis and osteopenia, I wouldn't do this one. It's too much rotation. But if you haven't, it's great. And then we'll bring our legs apart, bring our arms together. Right, next, we're going to go onto our fronts. I'll show you a seated option first. So if you are lying on the floor, if you want to roll onto your belly, you might need a cushion underneath your groin if you get low back pain. It will really help your back. If you're seated, I'd like you to sit up on the edge of your bed or on your chair, your hands on your thighs, your elbows in, so they're close to your sides. I want you to lower yourself slowly down, sliding your hands forwards, going onto your forearms, and my eyes, they're not going to look up at you anymore. They're going to start going towards the floor. And then push into your hands and bring yourself up and pull your elbows back a little. So it's this slide forward, straight back, coming up. Abdominals and arms bringing you up, and then a little slide back. Keep going with those. Right, on the floor. So long legs. I don't like a cushion underneath my forehead, but you might. I've got this towel. I'm going to bring my arms in quite close, almost under my shoulders, and you can see I'm having a little wiggle to get there. And then I'm going to push as if I'm sliding my hands forwards. My elbows are going down towards my waist, and then I'm going to take it down again. Now my low back is a bit pinchy, so I'm just taking this gently. And then when I've done, this is about my third or fourth, I'm going to wriggle the arms forwards, wriggle my hips. There's a little bit of a gap between my belly and the floor now. My hips are still down. And I'm just going to look ahead at this cushion and just have a little wriggle and get myself as comfortable as I can be. And I'm pushing away from the floor and bringing a bit of extension into my back. Particularly, we're talking the thoracic spine between my neck and my waist. And then I'm going to take it downwards again. Arms can go a little forwards. If you are sitting, you can bring your arms down, and then we're all going to wiggle our bums side to side. You can also, if you're lying down, let your legs have a little flop side to side, a bit like windscreen wipers. Right, for this next one, I'll start with the lying down position, and then I'll come to the seated position. So lying down, long legs together, forehead down, Arms are going to come in right by your sides. Now my bum here, I feel like there's quite an arch in my back. I'm going to flatten that arch out a little just by rocking my pelvis a little. I'm not squeezing my bum together or anything like that. Just rocking towards the mat. Now I'm going to put my palms right on my thighs. I like my little fingers almost around the back of my thighs. Lengthen your legs, and I can feel my legs just hovering off the floor. I'm going to hover my head and look down. That's the first place you go, and then you can put it down again. The next place might be you hover slightly higher, a bit more of your chest and your legs, but only if your low back is comfortable. Keep going with that one. If you are seated, come onto the edge of your chair. Could you just have a little stroke across your collarbones and bring your little fingers back? If you're on a chair, you might find that you can take your arms back further, like that. If you're on something where there's something in the way, could you take your hands behind you and then have a little squeeze back? So if I show you how it looks from behind it, I'm just having a little, holding my hands here, just squeezing the backs of my arms closer to each other and releasing. If you're in a position where you could stand or kneel, you can put your hands on your thighs here. Be long, like you're shooting up towards the sky, and then just open out a little more across here. Like a little squeeze back, and then release. And a squeeze back and a release. And a squeeze back and a release. And then we're going to let it all go again. So whichever position you're in, your legs get wider. Your hands go somewhere comfortable, especially for your head. And your bum has a little sway. You can go on your toes and do this. You can have your feet flat and do this. You can bend the legs and let them have a little flop side to side. And then we're going to bring ourselves to a sitting position if you're on the floor. Now, you could push yourself back if your knees are happy for this, and bring yourself to this position and then further back and bring yourself up. Or you could roll onto your side, whatever you're happy with. And let's have the legs somewhere either ahead or wide, whatever is nice for you. I think I'm going to put mine a little wider and grow taller. And then we're going to have a little lean side to side. So if you're doing this sitting, just pressing into the sides of your chair. Just putting a little pressure downwards. And then we'll press down and lift the other arm up. And I'm sort of pushing down into the floor a little bit here. Could be grabbing onto the sides of the seat. And then a little swish around. A small waist twist. Hands on the chest. Just take a few breaths here and feel it underneath your hands. And as you breathe, it's like you're trying to make yourself wider. You're trying to push air to the sides of your ribs. And you can feel a little bit of expansion under your hand too. Now breathe in and push your chest upwards. And as you breathe out, come down. You could even have a little slide forwards with a straight back. Breathe in, push upwards. Slide forwards. If you're comfortable to round your back, you could round your back. So it's one or the other, a flat back slide, or it's hard to say, or a little roll down slide. And one more. And then start to give your shoulders a shrug up and down, maybe with a breath, breathing in as they come up, breathing out as they melt downwards. Bring my legs in a little bit. And let's finish with a neck roll. So I'm going for a sort of side to side horseshoe, but you could do a circle, or you could stroke your neck. And then bringing your head up, taking your palms out to the side, scooping up the air, bring your hands together, reach them high, look up towards them, a final bit of extension in the back, bring your hands into your chest. Well done, half an hour. It flies. I hope that felt good. I'll see you again soon.